Oh, hi there, and good morning. Um, this was inspired by one of you. You'll know who you are when you see this, but thank you. You know, when I first started this group, it was because, well, it was very selfish. I needed to do 450 practice hypnosis hours to be able to um, submit my application to become considered to be a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And at some point, my brain said, do you need to do that? That sounds painful. Don't do that. Just let it go. And then, of course, the light bulb went on, and I thought, oh my God, no, 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 no. Court reporting students. There's a lot of them. And test anxiety and just anxiety and the journey. And I could do this. I could do that. I think it was February or March of 2019. I put a little post in encouraging court reporting students, saying that I was trying to become certified in clinical hypnotherapy, and that I would be willing to do 5 free sessions on test anxiety. And I got 25 please take me's responses in that first hour. And then over the next few days, it wound up being over 100. And then I realized I tried to tap into some of the students that I was studying with, telling them, you guys, these people really need help. And you can become a clinical hypnotherapist. One person jumped on board and helped with one student. And that one, she didn't know anything about court reporting. It was just generic. I tried to explain a little bit about it to her, like the magic words that would trigger what's inside us, the fears that we have. Because sometimes even when you're doing an intake with somebody and you ask them, what do you think's holding you back? Your critical mind jumps in and says, oh, well, it's your machine. Oh, it's your theory. Oh, it's your school. Oh, it's your boyfriend, your husband, your dog, your kids, whatever phase the moon is in. But it's not me. It couldn't be me holding me back. It couldn't be me having limited beliefs. Must be something on the outside. Anyway, she worked with one student who had taken a state test 11 times. And she passed. This shit works. My journey was a little different. My experience of helping people pass, because I wound up, helping them pass the test they wanted to pass, but their whole life opened up, was what I kept seeing. In fact, one person, when I was checking in, are like, well, how's the procrastination? How are you doing? Are you being able to practice now more? And she's like, oh, yeah, I got out of school 8 weeks ago. And I'm like, you were just in 180s. You were just in 180s. Oh, well, I had repeated 180s, so I don't really count that. So, and I'm thinking, still from 200 to 225 to out to working in 8 weeks. And she didn't think that was what was most noteworthy. What she was focusing on was the fact that her whole life had changed. The way she woke up and looked at the world in the morning had changed. The way that she believed in what was possible and was stepping into her own authority had changed. To her, everything had changed. Yeah, it's great. I'm out of school now, I'm working, but that's not what I really got from the session I did with you. And that blew my mind. So, okay, there can be collateral effects that we're not aware of. And sometimes I always ask when somebody comes to me and it's like, well, I want to quit smoking and I got to lose weight and I want to stop procrastinating and I'm having trouble sleeping. And I'm like, okay, some of these things are related. Which of these things are not? Sometimes let's focus on the one thing that is causing you the most pain in your life right now. Let's knock that out of the park. Because sometimes when one thing moves, a whole lot of other things move. And sometimes they move totally out and they're not a problem anymore. They were kind of hanging on, looking for a good party. So why am I thanking the person that inspired this video? Because sometimes I'm so busy trying to give you guys everything I can think of that I forget that there's magic, and then there's magic, and then there's everybody's different definition of magic. There's the practical stuff that we do to get out of school. And you got to do that. Because I could work with somebody who says, I want to be in the Olympics. I want to be an Olympic athlete. That's great. Would you mind putting the potato chips down? Put out the cigarette. You might want to start drinking after, I don't know, never when you're training for the Olympics. But do you mind doing the work, the physical work, to prepare you, to get you the skills, to build the muscles, to build the endurance, to build the routine, to build the belief in seeing yourself getting better so that you can take yourself farther? Do you mind doing those things first? Which is why when I first started, I only worked with high-speed exit RPR, CSR test taking people. Because I just didn't think that what I had to offer could translate down to a lower speed student. I was wrong. And it's 8:30, or to a theory student. And it would take me another year before I thought, oh, wait a minute, there's concepts in here that if you put them into action when you're in theory, when you're in 60s, 80s, 100s, that it would change your trajectory and how you approach everything getting out of school. And I've seen that. And I've watched other people and what they're doing and realizing, okay, that works too. And why is that working? And how is that working? And how can I explain that to other people? Because I could tell you, oh, this is what, Ashley did, and it got her out of school just so fast. This is what Molly did, and it got her out of school in 1 year, 1 month, and 13 days. Through school, past the qualifiers, and passing the California CSR back when it was not online. So we'll give her that one. But still, so when I see that happening, I double down. I go back and I say, okay, what else were you doing? I know you were listening to my recording. I know that you were cleaning up your negative thought patterns. I know that you were saying affirmations instead of affirmations. I know that you were doing all that stuff, but you were doing something else, because what you got was way greater than what I even imagined. So tell me what that was. And then I go back and I'll call my mentors and my teachers, and I'll say, this is what happened. This is what's going on. Why? Why did she get those results? Why did he get those results? How did that happen? How can I replicate that in a way that will get everybody bigger and better results? And for me too, because it translates. It's not steno, it's life. It really is. It's just that we are progressing in this thing called life, and at the same time trying to do this thing called steno, which one or the other of them would be a whole full-time psychological job to do. But we're trying to do both. And I know when I was in school, all I could focus on, well, I didn't know there was anything besides the practical. Like I was one of those, just tell me what to do. If you tell me exactly what to do, I will exactly do that for as long as you exactly tell me to do it. And if you promise me I will get results, I will do it. And if I see results, I will do it. Didn't always happen that way. I didn't understand that there was speed building going on in the background that I would never be able to understand or see or comprehend or even have a glimmer of, but it was happening. And that's what stops a lot of us, is that your progress is happening, but you can't see it. So you get frustrated, you slack off, you stop, you start doubting yourself, and then you become your own worst enemy all over again. and you don't lose the stuff in the background that's been building. You don't. And you don't lose your speed if you get off the machine for a while. In fact, I've told some of you, I think you're practicing too much. No, don't take this as a global. Check in with me before you do. Well, Carrie said I don't have to practice as much. No, Carrie did not say that to you. Carrie said that to a couple of select people who I saw a pattern in, and I realized you're killing yourself. You are actually breaking down your muscles. You are exhausting yourself past the point of being able to mentally focus. You need to not be practicing the amount of hours per day, the number of days per week for you. And that may not always be the case, but I think you need a freaking break right now. So how about giving yourself a weekend to not, oh, it's like I hear screams. How about giving yourself one day during the week? No, can't. Something's got to break. Something's got to change, or you're totally going to break. And then you're going to have to reset and start over, and you will have lost a period of progress that you would have made had you just been slowly, gently continuing on a consistent pattern of what you were doing. Consistency will get you everything you want. Just that constant, methodical routine and being consistent. If you overdo it, yeah, you may need to pull back, but I was digressing there. Basically, we're looking at two different things in steno. We're looking at the practical stuff that everybody knows you have to do, the practical stuff that you hear about in school, the practical stuff that other people talk about, the practical things that you can do. And then there are the, I don't want to call it the unpractical, but the extraordinary, meaning extraordinary. If these are ordinary, then these are extraordinary things that go into making a champion, that go into creating your best life, that go into getting results faster than anybody can imagine. That's what I call the magic. You got to do the work, but you throw in the magic and you're unstoppable. You are absolutely unstoppable. Now, the magic has its own tiers and varieties and flavors, all the way from learning to be aware, to be the conscious observer in your own life, watching which doors you open so that you don't open too many deep doors too early, or you're going to sabotage what you're doing over here, because you're going to be taken off into a trajectory. I know, because I've done it. And then you're going to wonder, why are the practical things falling apart? Because you're adding too much over here way too soon. And so that's why sometimes when you guys do a strategy call with me, it's like sometimes you see me do a little bit of hypnosis. Sometimes you don't see me doing any. I always am. And that's why when we finish with, my goodness, my phone is just exploding today. When I finish doing a strategy call, there are moments when I walk away and I hope that we've hit it out of the park so hard, so deep, that you're going to see the results. If I work with you on a Monday or a Tuesday and you've got a test on a Saturday, man, that's tight. But I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen twice, where I worked with somebody on a Monday and they passed a state test on a Saturday. I worked with, and they hadn't been. I worked with somebody on a Tuesday and they passed their RPR lit with 99%. And this had been somebody who didn't even think it was close. So sometimes getting it that close to the test can bombard your neurology to the point where the part that was holding you back doesn't have a chance to grab on again. That's a different thing. What I like to see is a strategy call that logically goes through, where are you? Where are you in your journey? What's working, what's not working? What do you want less of? What do you want more of? What do you want to get rid of? What do you want to replace it with? That. And then to be able to do a 21-day recording so that you've made the change on some level. You've got new neural pathways that are being formed just by imagining that something could be different. Just in that instance of changing a thought, you have changed the physical part of your brain. You've made a neural connection. You've dug a neural pathway. And so now what we want to do is, because your brain learns by repetition, we want to double down on that. We want to repeat it 21 days. Some people now are saying 30, some people say 60. 21 days minimum to make a habit, to break a habit, to change a thought pattern, to create a new thought pattern. Actually, we create the thought pattern and then you double down on keeping it, on making it become such an integral part of you that it is no longer the thing you do, it is the thing you are. And there is a moment, and I've experienced it myself several times, where I'm doing something that something used to stall me out or stop me or hinder me or slow me down for a moment. And all of a sudden I'm like, that part didn't come up. I didn't notice it when it didn't come up. I noticed it after I noticed that it didn't come up. And I said, oh my God, I'm feeling different. I am thinking differently, but it almost feels like I've always felt this way. It almost feels like I've always thought this way. Yeah, because you're running on a new program and you are thinking differently and you're not remembering the old program because we kind of got rid of it. We replaced it with what you wanted in your life going forward. And so for a lot of you who I give crap about, yeah, we had a session and 2 weeks later you started passing tests and you got past that test. And I don't want to take credit for everything because you're doing the work. But would that have happened had we not chatted? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you and I are both wasting our time. Who knows? I don't care. I'm willing to give that time to anybody who thinks that time might be worthwhile for them. And then to ask them to please go forth into the world and share with others. Because you did a session with me and then got out of school and then passed your tests does not mean that you did not do the work and that you did not accomplish that all by yourself. And there were 2 of you I know of that I could name that didn't need a session with me because you were going to do it anyway. I could see it. I could feel it. I knew it. But talking with me gave them, I don't know, the validation, yeah, you got this. You do. And to paint a picture of what work looks like so it's not as scary. So it's easier to go forward so that that wall drops a little bit and you become a little bit more okay with stepping into the unknown, which is where the magic is. That's where all the wonderful things that you can ever imagine are sitting out there in the unknown. They're not in your past. We wouldn't even be here. You'd be doing that. Everything in your past was what brought you to here, to now. And everything from this moment on is not known yet. It's all a mystery. It's a magical mystery because we don't know. We have a concept of what we think we would want in this world. And I swear to you, the universe, the all, the one, the source, the everything says, yeah, that's just one possibility. There's gazillion, million, billion, trillions of them. There's an infinite number. There's an unlimited number of possibilities. You keep focusing on the crappy ones, so you keep getting them. You get what you think about. You get what you focus on. There's all these other choices. Pick one. Play with it. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. See where that one takes you. Because we know the one that says, yeah, I'm not going to pass the test again. I've not passed for 100,000 times I've taken the test, and I've been stalled out in this speed for I don't know how long. And so, yeah, that's where it's going to be. I've got kids at home. I've got 2 jobs. I know, but that doesn't mean you're not going to pass a test. But if you keep saying, I'm not going to pass a test, this is really hard for me, I get in there and I have a panic attack every single time. Well, basically, you're telling your brain what you expect next time. I'm not saying that the first 2 or 3 panic attacks didn't come automatically all by themselves, but now you're creating them. There comes a point at which you are speaking into existence what you expect, and you will always get what you expect. And so for somebody that I'm working with that says, yeah, I've been in school a really long time, it's going to take a really long time, and my life is just in the toilet right now, living with my parents. I'm a single mom. I hate coming home every time, and every time, twice a week, telling them I failed, and I failed 2 more tests. I failed to, well, don't tell them. Just, oh, we've suspended tests for the next month. No tests. It's amazing. Don't tell them. It's like, you don't have to tell everybody everything. This is not like confessional time. Bravo to Aubrey. I love it. She was sharing with me that she signed up for the RSR and did not tell her parents. Bravo, baby. Today you're grown up, because you don't have to share anything with anybody, but you get to celebrate afterwards. She's our newest RSR. She did that all on her own, overcoming incredible odds and some physical things that were really holding her back. And that's another video. So there's the practical stuff we do. There's the ordinary stuff we do. There's the extraordinary stuff that we do here. That's what I offer you here that I don't think you're going to get anywhere else. Somebody else out there will tell you, you've got to clean up your thought patterns. You've got to have a positive attitude. You've got to do affirmations. And those things are all good. That's like scratching the surface compared to what we're doing here. And the videos that I give you, this one's kind of rambling, but usually they're focused on one topic, and it's like trying to double down on that. And I truly believe that whoever needs to hear the message will find the message. The message will find you. And you're not meant to hear every single one of these videos. You can, but you don't have to, because I frankly see a lot of the same stuff over and over again. Because sometimes, like little kids, are less mature brains, our less mature psychology part of us needs to hear stuff over and over again, because your brain learns by repetition. And when you get tired of hearing that message and you integrate it and put it into work in your life, you will stop hearing it because you don't need it anymore. You'll start hearing a new message. You'll start seeing new numbers. You'll start moving into that part of your life that's different and exciting and unpredictable and magical, because you let yourself go there. You guys have a great day. Deliberately go out there and have a great day. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.